Hello everyone. In this video I want to walk you through how to add Python to your system's path variable, as well as how to install pip, and then also how to install the other third-party modules like request. So to get started, let's take a look at what the problem is. When we open up a command prompt and type in Python, the operating system can't find where the Python executable is located. So in order to fix that, we just need to tell it where it's at. And the way that we do this is by modifying the path variable. So I'll show you real quick where that's at. If you open up a file explorer or browse to this PC, you can right click on it and go to properties. From there we want to click on advanced system settings. And on the advanced tab there's a button down here for environment variables. Alright, so we have user variables, so these would be user specific, and then there's system variables that apply to all users on the system. So you can modify the one up here, but it's only going to affect your account. So if you have multiple accounts on your laptop or desktop, you'd want to go ahead and just modify this path down here to include where Python's located. Alright, but at the moment we don't know where it's located. So how can we figure that out? Well, one way that we could do that is to act like we're going to open up Python. Okay, so I found it here in the start menu. Right click on it and go to open file location. Now where this takes us is a folder full of shortcuts, and I can tell that they're shortcuts because number one, the type is shortcut. There's also a visual indication with this arrow right here that tells me that this icon is a shortcut to something else. So what we want to find is, where does this shortcut point to for Python 3.5? If we right click on this, we can go to properties, and we can see where the target is. So the target is buried deep in my user's app data, local programs, Python 3.5, 32. And then there is the ultimate executable that we want to have executed when we type in Python on the command prompt. So what we can do is just take the folder that python.exe is located in, so everything but python.exe, and copy that. We'll click OK here. We can make sure that we got a good path by pasting it into the address bar. And we can see that this is the folder that contains Python and Python W, and we've got some scripts in here that we'll also be adding to our path variable as well. Okay, so to modify the path variable, I'm going to do the system one. We can click edit here, and then let's do a new one, and we'll paste in the path that we just copied. And then let's do one more new one, and at the end of this path, so make sure that there's a slash there, type in the word scripts. So that's going to make the operating system search in here when we type in a command, and then also in here where our scripts are located. And here in a second we're going to obtain pip. This is where pip ultimately gets placed, which is why we need to include the scripts directory. Alright, so click OK, and then OK, and we can start closing out some of these windows. Now if you jump immediately back over to the command prompt and you type in Python, you'll see that it still can't find it, and that's because the environment variables are loaded when we first start up the command prompt. So we can look at what is in the path variable. So to echo any of those system variables, you just put it in between percent signs, and you'll notice that this is the path that we saw there. Each directory path is separated by semicolons, and at the end here we don't have the one for the Python directory. So let's go ahead and close out of this command prompt and then just open up another one. Now if we type in Python, we get dropped into the interactive shell, and we can execute some code and then exit when we're done. So do notice that when we exit out of the interactive shell, you have to type exit with open close paren, so it's treated as a function. Alright, great. So at this point we're ready to go ahead and obtain pip. So to get pip, you can go to bootstrap.pypa.io. Should be a page that looks something like this, just a few Python files. The one we want is this getpip.py. So we can right click on that, save the link as. I'm just going to put it right there on the desktop because we're not going to need this for more than a second, just long enough to run it. So let's hit save. Alright, so there's get pip. We should just be able to double click on this. How do we want to open this file? We want to open it up with Python, so that's good. So this is the installer for pip. It's going to go out and download the packages that it needs. Alright, and once it's done, it should exit, and that means that pip has been installed. So going back to the folders that we were looking at, and I know that we saw this earlier with mine because I already had pip installed, but if we go into the scripts folder, you should see pip 3.5, and pip 3 now in this directory. Okay, so from there what you can do is go back to a command prompt, and we can type in pip install request. So the way that we're going to install modules now is use this pip install followed by the module name that we would like to get. So if we press enter there, pip goes out, it downloads anything it needs for that module as well as any other dependencies. So remember, a dependency is a module that's used by another module, so we can't use the original module unless we have the ones that it depends on. Alright, so now that it has that, we can drop back into an interactive prompt and we can do import request, and we shouldn't get an error. Excellent. And then we can use it. Awesome. So it looks to be working correctly. We got Google's page here. Last thing I want to show you is as you search for different packages, you can go to the PYPI. Actually forget what the... Okay. pypi.python.org. This is the Python package index. Here is where we can find a list of packages that we can install using pip. So you can go to Browse Packages, and you can browse by different categories. There's a search up here that you could use, and lots of times you can just find these packages via Google search as well. Alright, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. If not, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you.